What's going on, everyone? So I'm back again with the daily UI design challenge for day 18, and I'm currently traveling for the holidays, so I'm trying to do the best I can and maintain it as daily. But since I will be out and about on a road trip, it's going to be quite difficult for me to do this every single day, but I'm still going to stay consistent, and I'm just going to go along with the last day that I progressed from. So right now, day 18 is the most recent one I'm on, and the task for today was to create an analytics chart, or sort of like a data table, or even tracking site. I like to call this sort of like a probably similar to a tracking style software dashboard that I created for this one. And a lot of people did something very similar to in the finance space, where they had a lot of graphics and conversions and all that stuff. So this one is pretty simple. I didn't really have too much time to design this, but the inspiration came from Facebook. So I've dabbled with Facebook advertising. I've done a lot of that myself, and I have background in marketing. So this is sort of, I consider this more of like a corporate style look. The colors and the aesthetic isn't, I'd say, the prettiest, but if you were to compare this to majority of the tracking softwares out there, their UI is not super fancy like the ones you see on Dribbble. Because I've used tracking software myself, that's quite expensive, and it's very simple. The colors are pretty different, but as of the overall look, is more for the actual data, and they don't really care about the aesthetic too much. It's more of you can see what you're actually reading. So I'm gonna show you really quick a screenshot of Facebook's business manager, essentially the one where you can see your advertising. So if you're not familiar, basically Facebook, you can run ads. So if you're ever on Facebook and you see someone, it says sponsored posts, that's essentially what somebody's running an advertisement to you. And I sort of got the design for this daily challenge today from Facebook's. And here's the screenshot from one of the articles that I've read, and this is pretty simple. This isn't the exact one you'd look at if you were actually managing advertisements, but I figured I'd just keep this as like the sort of the template. And as I was designing this Facebook, it looks fairly simple, but if you actually go and try to design this yourself, it's not as simple as it looks. And the person who created this actually has very good eye with spacing and other things as well. So I kind of made mine a little bigger. I didn't really I kind of did this in less than probably say like 45 minutes, not too much time. I didn't want to spend too much time because I had to pack up and stuff for traveling, but I figured I'd show you guys anyway. I'd probably come back to this once I do have more time to edit this, but for the sake of the daily challenge, I figured I'd just put out what I have already. And currently, so if you have like a campaign running right, and for instance, the example in this video would be let's say you're selling a product, right, a digital product. So that could be like a course, it could be some sort of software, whatever it is, something digital online, meaning it's not a physical copy. And here's checked, so that means I selected this one. Status means that it's currently on and running. That means that you would be spending money. And then it shows your reach. So ensure you're not familiar with this, reach impressions, essentially how many people stumbled upon this ad. And then the cost, how much did you spend for this particular ad. So almost 2.2, basically 2.3K, and we resulted with 44 conversions. So that's sort of like the rundown on the reasoning behind this right here. And then we go to the stats, the data showing the person's conversions, the cost that they spent, and then how much revenue they made. So in short, their profit is like, they're like half profit. So they basically made 4.4, but they spent 2.3 to make it 4.4. So they're still in profit, which is very good for this ratio. But again, this is just an example. And then here's like a chart. So 10, 10, 30. I should change this because technically 44 would have been 10, 30. So I guess, I mean, I could drag this down. But for the sake of example, I think that doesn't really matter, too big of a deal. It's just like visuals. But demographics, this shows the country that the most visitors, or the, I would say, conversions for this sake came from. So essentially, United States is here in the teal blue, so that's the biggest country. Then United Kingdom, then Canada, then other. And ideally, this is targeting U.S. speaking mainly. So, or not saying U.S., I meant English speaking. So you can see that the countries here, and then other is just short for general, like countries anywhere else. And then here, essentially, you're managing the campaigns, account settings, billing, customize, and then you would create your advertisement here. So it's very simple. Obviously, I didn't have much time that I'd like to spend on this because of the current travel situation, but for the sake of it, I think it still tells you what you need to do from here. And then looking at Facebook, obviously this is much more advanced and much more much more stuff's on here. But ideally, I think I show you the daily challenge for today. I didn't want to leave it hanging, but here it is for that one. So if you are new to the channel, go down below and hit that subscribe button. Comment down below if you're already learning UX UI or what part of the journey you're in, or if you're already an expert. Definitely would love to connect. And aside from that, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.